What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex, back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right into the topic of this video. Raiders football is finally back. The Las Vegas Raiders have concluded their first preseason matchup of the season, falling 24-23 to the Minnesota Vikings. And there's a lot to get into today. To start off the game, the Raiders came out and sent a message. They had all the starters in the first quarter to start on offense and on defense. And they ultimately went with the game plan at the quarterback position to start off with Aiden O'Connell getting that first quarter and then Gardner Minshew getting the second quarter. Now, to start the game, the Raiders' first drive, they started on the defensive side of the football, where the Vikings were able to drive down the field consistently until we got them in a fourth down situation near the goal line. The Raiders defense got a huge goal line stop off of that incomplete pass where cornerback Jacorian Bennett was targeted, but ultimately he forced the incomplete pass. Great play by him right there. You love to see that. He's one player that's been getting a lot of praise during training camp, and he looked good on that play. And after that, the Raiders offense got on the field, and that's where we got to see quarterback Aiden O'Connell. And to me, Aiden O'Connell was able to move the ball efficiently, getting the ball quickly to open receivers and like some quick screen type of plays. And I remember a certain situation on third down where he showed a good ability to step up into the pocket and make a throw across the middle to Jacoby Myers to move the chains. And ultimately that drive, we were able to move the ball. We got into the red zone, but we had to settle for a field goal after a Dallas Turner sack on Aiden O'Connell. On that next drive, the Raiders defense stepped up. We had cornerback Jack Jones showing out and got the first turnover of the day off of a J.J. McCarthy throw on the move. Jack Jones is another player that's been very impressive at camp. He showed out and had a good performance, got the interception right there. And basically those three drives concluded the first quarter. And the next drive started with quarterback Gardner Minshew taking the helm of the offense. And really, to me, Gardner Minshew looked pretty good out there. This offense was able to move the ball up and down the field. And this was also considering the fact that he had second string wide receivers out there. I noticed when O'Connell was out there in the first drive, he had Jacoby Myers out there, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer. And when Minshew stepped in, the second string wide receivers were on the field. But that really didn't stop the offense from moving. We got big chunk plays. Minshew showed he was able to get aggressive down the field. He had a big throw to Trey Tucker, which eventually led to Gardner Minshew throwing a nice throw off the play action to DJ Turner on that crosser route for a touchdown. On the next drive on offense, we went back with Gardner Minshew, which was interesting. I wasn't sure if they're going to rotate between O'Connell and Minshew, but they roll with Uncle Rico once again. Now, one thing we do got to call out is he did have a delay of game penalty, which set us back. You can't be having that. It was a third down, but Gardner Minshew did make up for it by throwing another deep pass down the field to Trey Tucker, which eventually got us in field goal range. And eventually the offense capped off that drive, getting into the red zone with a Zamir White touchdown run up the gut. After that, Gardner Minshew got another drive. He led us to a field goal. So when it comes to evaluating the two quarterbacks, Aiden O'Connell had less of a sample size than Gardner Minshew out there. I mean, overall, it's kind of hard to gauge from Aiden O'Connell as it was only one drive, but he did look pretty sharp out there to me. He looked good. Nothing really crazy to write home about, though. He was accurate with the football. He was able to step up, make the reads. He was able to move the ball methodically, but it did give me more of a game manager type of vibe when he was then at quarterback compared to when Gardner Minshew was out there. We were being a little bit more aggressive, throwing the ball down the field. Gardner Minshew definitely looked more dynamic out there, and he did have the bigger plays out there. So Gardner Minshew in this game, to me, he outplayed Aiden O'Connell. He just had the bigger throws, the bigger plays of the game. Now, judging by their statistics on the day, Aiden O'Connell went 7 of 9 throwing the football with 76 passing yards, 0 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. Gardner Minshew went 6 out of 12. Not great completion percentage, but 117 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. So he was able to make plays out there. And really going into this game, I thought for both quarterbacks, if they want to win the job, they needed to take care of the football. Both of them did that. And I thought Gardner Minshew was going to have to show some big plays show a little bit of his mobility as well, and I thought he did that. He had 3 very impressive throws to me, one being the touchdown pass, the other 2 being the deep throws to Trey Tucker, and there's no doubt he gives you more mobility than Aiden O'Connell. Now it's going to be interesting though, because the general consensus was that in training camp, the quarterback battle was pretty close between the two. Neither one was really able to separate themselves, but certain Raiders insiders and beat reporters had stated that they thought Aiden O'Connell had a slight edge in training camp. So if that's true, given the fact that this week in the preseason, I feel like Gardner Minshew had an edge over Aiden O'Connell in the first week. So if that's the case, I mean, this just really makes that quarterback battle that much more interesting. Gardner Minshew is definitely putting some pressure on that position. I like what I saw from him out there, and really just going to come down to the rest of the preseason. Next week against Dallas, if Gardner Minshew can replicate some of the success next week, he's going to be in a very good position to win that starting job for the Raiders this season. So even though the Raiders lost, it's not a huge deal. I was much more interested to see how the quarterbacks were going to fare out in this one, how certain players were going to look out there. When the first string defense was out there, they looked solid, not great, but I did notice in the second half, once the second string defense was out there, they're giving up a lot of plays. Offense in the second half was definitely a letdown. I also don't know on that last drive, why did we call a timeout when Minnesota didn't have any timeouts? Definitely a head-scratching move right there that ultimately led to them getting into the field goal range and beating us with a last-second field goal. But at the end of the day, when the preseason, it's not really the biggest concern to me that we go undefeated in the preseason. It's more about how this team looks out there, how certain players are looking, and really the ones that stood out for me this week was Gardner Minshew, our cornerbacks, Jacorian Bennett, Jack Jones. I was also very interested to see that Brock Bowers, we lined him up as a fullback on various different occasions, which I like that. He can be a lead blocker for you. He can also get involved as a pass catcher out of that formation and also as a runner, even though we didn't see it this week, but that is something that he can do. So overall, Raider Nation, those are my current takes. The quarterback competition is still wide open in my opinion. It's just 1 week of preseason. I don't want to say Gardner Minshew has won the job just yet. We still have, at the very minimum, 1 more preseason game where I think both of these guys are going to get out there. We'll have to see how they play. We'll have to see how Aiden O'Connell responds to this. But just giving my honest take, if the regular season were to start next week, I would roll with Gardner Minshew, just based on what I've seen thus far and been hearing in camp. But we will see how it ends up moving forward. Make sure you guys stay tuned, have the bell notifications on. As soon as we get the All-22 film, we'll be breaking down some tape of what we saw this week against the Minnesota Vikings. So you definitely don't want to miss that. But Raider Nation, let me know what you guys think in that comment section down below of the Raiders' first preseason matchup. Who do you think looked better out there, Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew? Let me know down below. But with that being said, Raider Nation, that's all I have for you guys in today's video. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one.